The Man I Could Not Recognize, written by Daintyjha. For DigiCafé, DaintyStories. Date written, August 1, 2026. Chapter 7, The Door Between Them. Elara, Ronan's voice came through the phone again. Lara, talk to me. She did not answer. Her back was pressed against the hallway wall. One hand gripping the phone so tightly her fingers hurt, the other curled against her stomach, as if she could hold herself together by force. Outside her apartment door, Adrian was quiet. That was worse than the knocking. The knocking had been frightening, but at least it was clear. At least it was honest in its intrusion. The silence felt like waiting for a hand to reach through the wall. Elara, Ronan said again. I need you to say something. She swallowed. What did you hide? The question came out rough. Not calm. Not professional. Not carefully worded the way she liked to be when she was afraid. Just hurt. Ronan was silent for half a second. Elara, this is not the time. A bitter laugh escaped her. Of course it is not. Please listen to me. No. Her voice shook. No, I am listening. That is the problem. I am listening to both of you, and both of you sound like you know something I do not. Outside the door, Adrian spoke softly. And that is because he does. Elara flinched. Ronan's voice hardened. Adrian, step away from her door. Adrian laughed, low and quiet. So she did put me on speaker. She did not need to, Ronan said. You are loud enough. Elara closed her eyes. This is insane, she whispered. It was not meant for either of them, but both men heard it. The hallway of her apartment felt too small for all three voices. One man outside her door. One man inside her phone. Both pulling at parts of her life they had no right to touch. Adrian said, Elara, open the door. Just let me explain. No. The word came out before fear could stop it. Silence. And Adrian's, softer. Please. She hated that word from him. Please. As if he were the wounded one. As if she were being cruel by keeping a locked door between herself and the man who had followed her home. I said no, she said. Elara. No, Adrian. Stop saying my name like you still know me. The words surprised even her. On the phone, Ronan went quiet. Outside, Adrian did too. Good. Let them both be quiet. Elara pushed herself away from the wall. Her knees felt weak, but anger was beginning to move through the fear now. It came slowly at first, then all at once, like a match finding dry paper. You do not get to stand outside my apartment and ask for softness, she said. You do not get to scare me and then say please like that fixes it. I did not come here to scare you, but you did. I came because you would not talk to me. Exactly. Her voice rose. Exactly. Adrian, do you hear yourself? There was a pause. Elara, I was worried. No, do not do that. She took one step toward the door before stopping herself. Do not dress this up as worry. I told you no at the hotel. You followed me home. That is not worry. That is entitlement. Adrian's voice changed. Just slightly. A small crack in the softness. You are making me sound like some kind of threat. You were outside my locked door after I told you to leave me alone. I just want conversation. You want control of the conversation. I want the truth. Elara laughed once, sharp and humorless. The truth? Now you want the truth? Elara? No, fine. Let us have truth. You left me. Adrian said nothing. You left me when I could barely walk into a room without panicking. You left me when I was still pretending I was fine because everyone looked so scared when I was not. You left me, and somehow everyone felt sorry for you because it must have been so hard to love me. Her voice broke on the last words. She hated that it did. She kept going anyway. Do you know how humiliating that was? Be abandoned one and still have people whispering about how much you suffered? I did suffer, Adrian said. The words were quiet. Maybe honest. Maybe not. Elara pressed her lips together. For one terrible second, the anger slipped, and she remembered him in the hospital room, sleeping badly in a chair beside her bed, holding her water cup, looking terrified when the doctor said her recognition problems might not fully heal. Maybe he had suffered, but he had also left. Both could be true. That was the cruelest part. I know, she said, her voice lower now. Ow, no you did, and I am sorry that my accident hurt you too. I am, but your pain does not excuse what you did with it. Adrian exhaled. You have no idea what it was like. Something inside her snapped. No, Adrian, you have no idea what it was like. Her hand flew to her chest. You could leave the hospital and recognize everyone in the parking lot. You could wake up and know your own face in the mirror. You could look at your mother and not have to wait for her voice to prove who she was. You could walk down a street and understand the world. Her breath hitched. I lost that. Me, not you. You lost the version of me that was convenient to love. Elara, that is not fair. Fair? She almost shouted it. You want fair? The apartment seemed to hold its breath. Ronan said quietly, Elara, breathe. She turned on the phone. Do not. Silence. Her throat tightened. Do not tell me to breathe like you are the calm one. You are not innocent in this either. Ronan did not respond immediately. When he did, his voice was low. You are right. The answer disarmed her for half a second. She hated that too. Adrian took the opening. See? He admits it. I am not talking to you, Elara snapped. Adrian went quiet. Elara stared at the phone in her hand as if Ronan could see her through it. What did you hide? She asked again. Elara, I am on my way to you. That is not an answer. No, it is not. The honesty made the hallway feel colder. She swallowed. So there is something. Yes. Adrian laughed softly through the door. There it is. Elara spun toward the door. And you. Shut up. Adrian stopped. I mean it, she said. You do not get points for exposing a secret while standing outside my home like a nightmare. You do not care if he lied to me. You care that I might trust someone who is not you. That is not true. It is true. You do not know that. I know your voice when you are losing. The silence after that was heavy. Real. Human. Ugly. Adrian spoke after a moment. And when he did, the softness was gone. Fine. You want me to be honest? Elara's stomach tightened. Ronan said, do not engage with him. Elara ignored him. Yes, she said. For once, try that. Adrian's voice dropped. You think Ronan is different because he asks before touching the broken thing? Elara went still. The words hit hard, but not because they were true, because they were cruel. Ronan's voice cut through the phone. Enough. No, Adrian said. She wants honesty. I said enough. You do not get to give orders here. I do when you are harassing a woman at her door. Adrian's voice sharpened. You do not care about her. You care about what she gives you. Elara whispered. What does that mean? Elara, Ronan said. Please wait until I get there. No. Her voice shook again, this time with rage. No more waiting. No more men deciding the order in which I am allowed to know my own life. That landed. For a few seconds, neither man spoke. Elara took a breath, then another. Her voice was quieter when she said, Ronan, tell me one thing. Right now. Not everything. One thing. Did you know who I was before the audit? Ronan was silent. Too long. Her chest tightened. Oh my God. I knew your name, he said. Elara closed her eyes. And I knew about the accident. The hallway tilted. Adrian made a small sound outside the door. Not laughter this time. Satisfaction. Elara could barely hear over the blood rushing in her ears. You knew? Yes. Before we met? Yes. She pressed the phone harder against her ear. Why? Ronan's voice roughened. Because your accident was connected to Aurelia. The world went quiet. Not silent. Quiet in the way the body goes quiet before it understands pain. Elara's lips parted. What? Outside the door, Adrian shifted. Ronan said, I do not have all the answers. I did not then, and I still do not. But there were records. Old internal records. Your name appeared in the file connected to Aurelia Northbridge. My accident was on a road. I know. I was not at a hotel. I know. Then what are you saying? I am saying something happened before the road. She gripped the wall. The paint felt cold under her palm. Something happened before the road. The sentence opened a place in her memory that had never healed properly. Rain. Headlights. The smell of burned rubber. A voice she could not place. No. She did not want this. Not tonight. Not with Adrian outside her door, and Ronan inside her ear, and her whole life suddenly turning into a locked room. Adrian spoke, quieter now. Elara, that is why I came. She turned toward the door slowly. What? I found out he was looking into you. Ronan said sharply, that is not why you came. You do not know that. Know exactly the kind of man who follows a woman home. You know nothing about me. I know enough. Elara slammed her hand against the wall. Stop. Both men stopped. Her palms stung. Good. Pain was clear. Pain did not lie. I cannot do this if you keep fighting over me like I am not standing here. Her voice cracked. I am here. I am the one who had the accident. I am the one who lost faces. I am the one who lost years. I am the one being followed and lied to, protected and used and handled. So both of you need to stop talking around me. The silence that followed was different. For the first time that night, it felt like both men had actually heard her. Elara wiped at her face. She had started crying without noticing. That angered her too. I hate this, she said, quieter. I hate all of this. I hate that I cannot open a door without thinking I might not know who is on the other side. I hate that I have to trust voices and footsteps and timing. I hate that one of you abandoned me and the other one hid things from me, and somehow I am supposed to know who is safe. Her voice broke completely. I do not know. I do not know. Ronan's voice changed. It was no longer cold, no longer controlled. When he spoke, he sounded almost afraid. Elara, you do not have to know tonight. That made her cry harder, though she did not understand why. Outside the door, Adrian said nothing. Maybe shame had finally found him. Maybe he was only waiting. Ronan continued, you only have to stay safe tonight. Hate me tomorrow if you need to. Ask me everything tomorrow. I will answer. But tonight, please, just move away from the door and stay on the phone. She covered her mouth. The urge to believe him was so strong it frightened her. Adrian spoke then, and his voice was smaller. Lara, I really did love you. The sentence landed like an old photograph placed in dirty water. Recognizable. Ruined. Elara looked at the door. I know, she whispered. Ronan went silent. Adrian breathed in sharply. I know you did, she said. That is why I waited so long for you to come back, before I understood you were not going to. No answer. Her voice steadied. But loving me once does not give you the right to scare me now. A sound came from outside. A step backward, then another. Elara, Adrian said. No, go home. I need to tell you something. Then send it to my email. Send it to Mira. Send it to a lawyer. I do not care. But you do not get my door. He did not move. She heard him standing there, breathing, thinking. Adrian, she said, and this time her voice was tired. Leave before I let Ronan call the police. Ronan said nothing. He let the choice stay hers. For that, she was grateful. Adrian's voice turned bitter at the edges. So that is it? Elara laughed through tears. You followed me home, and you are asking if that is it? I'm trying to help you. No, you're trying to matter. Nat silenced him. Then came footsteps. Slow at first, then moving away. Down the hall, toward the stairs. Elara did not move until she heard the building door close more below. Even then, she stayed pressed to the wall, phone in hand, breathing like she had run for miles. Ronan's voice came carefully. Is he gone? I think so. Do not open the door to check. I am not stupid. I know. I am scared. The honesty was so abrupt, she had no defense against it. She sank slowly to the floor. For a while, neither of them spoke. Then she whispered, You knew about my accident. Yes, and you did not tell me. No. Why? Ronan breathed out. When he answered, his voice sounded stripped bare. Because when you met me, you did not know what my name could do. You did not know my family. You did not look at me like I was a headline, or a bank account, or Victor Hale's son. You just told me I was standing on your notes. A tiny, broken laugh escaped her, despite everything. He continued, quieter, and I wanted one person to meet me before they met the rest of it. That is selfish. I know. It is not enough. I know that too. She wiped her cheeks with the back of her hand. You do not get to use my condition to feel normal. The sentence hurt him. She heard it. Could. It should. No, he said. I do not. And you do not get to decide that because you were lonely. I deserved less truth. His voice was almost a whisper. You are right. She leaned her head back against the wall. The apartment was still too quiet. Her body was still shaking. But Adrian was gone. For now. And Ronan had not defended himself. Not really. That did not fix anything. But it mattered. A knock came again. Elara's whole body jolted. Elara, Ronan said quickly. It is me. Her breath stopped. The knock came once more. Not 2 sharp taps. 3 gentle ones. Elara, I'm outside. You do not have to open the door. She stared down the hallway. Her door looked the same as before. Plain wood, metal chain, deadbolt, a boundary, a danger, a choice. Ronan's voice came through the phone, and from the other side of the door, separated by only a few steps, and everything he had not told her. I can leave, he said. I can stay in the hall until Mira comes. I can call Clara. I can call the police. You decide. Elara closed her eyes. You decide. The words moved through her slowly. Not a rescue. Not an order. A choice. She stood carefully. Her legs shook. She walked toward the door, but stopped before touching the lock. What did Adrian mean when he said you were using me? Ronan did not answer quickly. This time, she appreciated it. I'll think he said. He wanted you to believe that. But I also think he knew which part would hurt, because part of it was close enough to truth. Her throat tightened. Hate that answer. I do too. Tomorrow, she said, you tell me everything. Yes? No polished version. No, no protecting me. A pause. Then, I will try. Not good enough. Another pause. And his voice lowered. You are right. I will tell you everything. Elara reached for the lock. Her fingers hovered there for a long moment. Then she opened the door. The chain stayed on. Only a narrow gap appeared. Ronan stood on the other side. She could not trust his face, so she did not try. She looked at his watch. Dark strap. Silver rim. Then his hand, empty at his side. Then the space he kept between himself and the door. Then she listened to his breathing. Controlled, but not calm. You cannot come in, she said. I know. I am still angry. You should be. I am not forgiving you because you showed up. I did not expect you to. She nodded once. The movement felt weak, but it was not. It was hers. Ronan looked at her through the narrow opening. Or maybe he did not. She could not tell. But his voice, when it came, was quiet and unguarded. I am sorry, Elara. Not smooth. Not perfect. Not enough. But real. She let the apology stand in the small space between them. Then she closed the door. Not slammed. Closed. She locked it. Left the chain in place. And sank back against the wood, shaking, crying, alive. On the other side, Ronan did not leave. She knew because the hallway stayed occupied. Not by pressure, not by demand, by presence. For now, that was all she could accept. For now, it was enough. But tomorrow, there would be truth. And truth, Elara was beginning to learn, did not always arrive gently.